I don't have a disorder. I mean, I do these things that sort of resembles symptoms of OCD, but I don't think it's a disorder. For example, I do this thing at home where I check multiple times if the door has been locked properly. I check the lock and turn the knob a few times. Sometimes I count 1 to 10 while doing that until I'm satisfied and convinced that the lock has been closed. I don't have a disorder. Sometimes I also do this thing where I check the fridge if it's been shut properly. So what I do is I close the door of the fridge and check by pushing the door more closely. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I check by pushing the door and pressing it against the refrigerator until I'm satisfied that it's closed. Again, I don't have a disorder. I do this thing too where the car, I check whether it's been locked multiple times. Sometimes I pressed the car key lock, press it about 3 to 4 times to make sure the car has been closed. And because that doesn't satisfy me, I go to the door and check by pulling on the door handles to make sure the car doesn't open. I do this for all doors. Regardless if I have opened the other doors or not. I have to check all 4 doors. Sometimes I'll also check the trunk and make sure it's shut. I also double check if I closed the lights, if I pulled out the camera, the GPS, and if I turned off the wipers. If I walk away from the car and I'm not satisfied that all those things have been met, I go back, I open the car, check the lights again, check the switches again, check the wipers, and go out and then do the entire thing where I check if the car is closed, I check if the door handles are locked, and check also if the windows have been closed. Again, I don't have a disorder. I also do this thing at work where before I leave for the day, I position things at my desk at a specific way. I line things up at my desk. I arrange my little knickknacks at my desk in a specific order. I do this because I want to know if something moves at my desk while I'm gone. And chances are I'd be able to identify if things have moved because every day I check and I do the entire routine where I place the things where they're supposed to be. So I kind of know if something moves or not. But then again, I haven't really tested that idea yet because I don't see things moving at my desk, so maybe that's a good thing. If you work with me, please don't move things at my desk while I'm away. It will irritate the hell out of me. It will probably make me over paranoid, thinking something's gone or something's missing, and please don't do that. Again, I don't have a disorder. And there's a bunch of other things where I do this constant checking too because I'm not satisfied whether it's either been turned off, it's either been closed, if it's completely safe or something like that. Among other things, and these are the only things that I have footage of so far. But I do these with other things, like if this switch is for my electric skateboard, I turn this off probably about once or twice to make sure it's off, and I check if it's blinking. Also the switch on my skateboard, I check if it's been turned off multiple times as well. I also check the stove if it's been turned off properly every night. I do that about 3 times in rotation. So yeah, I don't have a disorder. So why do I keep saying that I don't have a disorder when these things seem like they are resemblant of OCD, where it seems to hinder some function in terms of, it's time consuming, it's anxiety inducing, and if I'm not satisfied, it irritates the hell out of me and I can't function properly. I don't think these are disorders because it doesn't impede me in a way that I would stop doing what I have to do because I haven't been able to check, I haven't been able to lock it properly or something. I can actually still walk away from these things, but I do prefer to do them before, leaving. Like for example, if I make sure to lock the door, I want to make sure that I've locked it completely before I leave. Otherwise, if I'm uncertain, I have to come back. It's probably not a disorder yet, because it probably is going that way, and I don't know how to address it. I don't know how to seek for help. I don't know how to take care of it. And these are more prominent. I do these more often if I'm stressed, if I feel anxious, if there's a lot of things in my head, and if there's things that I'm constantly thinking about. I oftentimes find myself thinking about those things when I'm doing these so-called tics. I think that's what I would that's probably the word that I have for it, tics. Because I don't do this as often when I'm feeling okay, when I'm normal. So what can it be? I don't know. But they don't really bother me as much. I don't know if they should bother me as much. I don't know if I should start doing something about it. I also do this thing too, where I arrange my lunch in a specific way before I eat it. I need to have some sort of a surface, like a placemat, to place my food, so cleanup is easier. After I finish eating, it's just one crumple and I throw it away. It's a system. Sometimes I've been called out, teased about these things that I do. I oftentimes laugh it off because I think it's funny. Kinda. Not really. Kinda. I've been teased about like how I arranged my food when I eat, how I have to eat it in a specific order sometimes for it to make sense what I'm eating. I guess sometimes it's funny, especially if there's context into it being hilarious. For example, I can't really come up with examples of how it's funny. I guess I just laugh it off. But I really don't mind being told that I do exhibit these things because I am completely aware of it. I do them every day. I don't need to be reminded. So that's what those things are. And if you notice me doing them, please don't mind me. I'm just trying to keep my head clear. It's my way of not freaking out. It's my way of sort of expressing that I still have control over specific things. And it's a very physical way for me to see those. It's probably displaced. It's probably not a healthy thing. As I'm talking about it now, it seems more apparent that that's probably what's going on, but for now it seems fine. And if it turns into some sort of like a disorder or something, then I guess we'll find out. But for now I think I'm still okay. Alright, it's getting dark. I'm gonna head home. Maybe the Wi-Fi waiting for me. I'll see you guys next time.